Sergio Pérez is about to surpass him in something that will hurt the German a lot, and that's why he's trying to put so much pressure. Verstappen's clan strategy is working out well, which is why they've partnered up. Breaking news: Ralf Schumacher tells us he's threatened on social media, making use of what Johnny Herbert said about Fernando Alonso, referring to Spaniards who were threatening him with death. Here in Formula 1, anything goes, but everything is allowed if Sportmaniac's plan doesn't fall apart. How are we going to deal with Ralf Schumacher and prove everything he said about Sergio Perez and the hidden intentions behind it? What are you afraid of, Ralf Schumacher, since Baku last year that you are so tense and see the moment a Mexican surpasses you is almost there? Welcome to the Formula 1 Maniacs section on YouTube, and sorry Ralph, it's time to reveal your hidden plans. Why is Ralf Schumacher so determined to make life impossible? Checo Perez, because everything has a reason. Notice that this is breaking news. He takes advantage, I insist, of all Johnny Herbert statements, which you can see right here. Okay? The false death threat from the FIA commissioner, who is also an FIA commissioner with history with Fernando Alonso, which he shouldn't be. Then Ralf Schumacher jumps on the bandwagon and says he also receives threats that he can't say anything about selfie. Perez, let's analyze all the nonsense, which isn't little, said by Ralf Schumacher about Sergio Perez and the reason why Mexican fans are drawn to him. And we'll also analyze what's behind all this, because everything has a reason, friends. Schumacher has a hidden reason. He's very hurt because he's about to be overtaken by Sergio Perez. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm going to show you later what will hurt Ralf Schumacher, because it's going to happen soon and Ralf is watching. That's why he joins Clan Verstappen. But what did Ranshu say? Manager, then the last minute statements of a great manager who has shown very strong and very harsh on the Mexican driver are the following. Notice it's worth paying attention to. They obviously say it for Sky Germany. We already know that the German media for this Formula 1 stuff spreading rumors, they are specialists and say we can't say negative things about Perez because our Instagram will go crazy again. So you see it joins, I insist. Regarding the threats from the FIA Commissioner Johnny Herbert, complaint about Fernando Alonso's action in Australia that was penalized and should not have been, because even Joe Russell said it wasn't his fault. Fernando Alonso, and here we go to demonstrate Ralph's strategy so that Perez doesn't overtake him. Because it's obvious, because Ralf Schumacher, he's someone who has been criticizing Checo Perez for a long time, don't you think? We haven't mentioned this until now, but notice this is 2 weeks old. This video wasn't very viral, just 5,300 views. And here it all comes. Because he told you you're at Don Mundo from Verstappen. But why does he say this, Ralph? Now I'm going to show you, but it's not the only one. Since the year 2023. And you will understand perfectly why Ralf Schumacher keeps condemning Sergio Perez. All criticism is directed at him. And notice that in this video with 91 comments, even though it only has 5 to 300 views, it has many comments. And people are really upset with Ralf Schumacher. And it's no wonder. Look, poor traumatized former pilot, they say, he was 2 worlds away from his brother. He's the last person who should criticize. He was 7 worlds away from his brother. Better he criticizes his nephew, who is terrible, 27 like. And we said that too. This is what Garibay says. And we said it too. First, criticize your nephew who can't get into Formula 1. Don't focus so much on Sergio Perez. Ruben is talking about jealousy. Greeting from the beautiful Mexico City. Another greeting for you. Mexico and Spain. Let's go check, says Victor. And all the Hispanic fans are clear on that. Take a look here, Luis. Ralph says he has no better life. He should go take care of your nephew who you are missing, right? As we see, all sorts of comments against Ralf Schumacher, who is really going all out against Sergio Perez. And he has a reason. I have to say, he has a hidden reason, but he does. We're going to go through the timeline with everything that has happened so you understand what's the hidden motive, reasoning Here we see the threats he's reporting. We've already said it. And through Instagram in the Uniherber style, I really want to thank all the SPORTMANIATICOS for their support in this video as well as in Ralf Schumacher's. Take a look here. 340 here, 270. We are making noise and it's not for nothing. Let's do a timeline. What it says about Instagram, I insist, is totally related to Johnny Gerber's situation. He saw it was making noise and wanted to make noise because he's interested in making noise. But Alberto, for God's sake, why is Ramsey Mohasar interested in making Sergio Pérez nervous? Well, now I'm going to explain it to you. Not without first showing you the entire timeline of some of the things he has said, not all of them. 2023, look, Ralf Schumacher says they could fire Sergio Pérez for lack of consistency. Wasn't he fired in 2024? Is Checo still there? They want to renew for 2025. Checo disagrees. Checo wants 2025, 2026, and 2027. But talking and competing in Formula 1 for some, for example, Ralf Schumacher, he says sometimes he makes a mistake under pressure when he's not too happy with the car while Verstappen doesn't. That's why I think he'll be the top driver throughout the year, Verstappen, right? A constant among all these ex-drivers who have not succeeded in Formula 1 and are failures, to put it in a way, right, is to attack directly, which is done many times. But they did the mistakes made without considering settings or anything. If you call him obsessive, you'll know perfectly that all this is just talking for the sake of talking, because at no point are you going to see any depth into what the problem is, nor discussing the atmosphere, or that all the disdain is in favor of about Verstappen. Even Christian Horner has said it. No, he won't tell you that. Why? Because that's his target. The fan is the one who doesn't understand Formula 1. The huge wave of new Formula 1 fans he wants to turn against Sergio Pérez. So they make noise for what I'm about to show you at the end, his big hidden motive. Even though he stated that, although he claimed to have ridden hard in Azerbaijan and highlighted his potential to be faster on the track, I don't think he has consistency in the imprint. Do you see Azerbaijan Baku, if I remember correctly, Sergio Pérez's last win, right? Let's see why this is so important. And why that point, I'm already giving you a bit of a spoiler, is what hurt Ralf Schumacher so much. This says if there's a problematic relationship between Verstappen and Perez, then it would make sense to say goodbye to the Mexican. Look at 2023, how eager it was to get Checo out of a car capable of winning races. We keep watching, and if you look closely, you can see the teammates don't get along if a team has two drivers. They do not harmonize with each other. That's a great advantage for the team, you see. There are many rumors swirling in the paddock about the future of Sergio Pérez. Red Bull would have options. Some say Yuki Tsunoda, Daniel Ricciardo could be possibilities. They are still there, and there are enough drivers in the market as well. To show you how it all started, like it's nothing, Racco Magyar delivering a harsh critique, but there were many more, all with the goal of pushing Checo out of Red Bull. You'll understand at the end of the video. Exactly what cultured goal. Our friend Ralf Schumacher has a bad plan that's going to backfire because Ralf Checo Perez is going to show you up. As soon as he does it, we'll get him out and we'll celebrate that, but on the cover we'll say it surpasses you, something we know hurts you. Ralf Schumacher confirms Perez's departure from Red Bull. Its days are numbered. This happens on the 25th of July 2023. It doesn't happen at the same time. I haven't picked up news from the same day. All are from different days, from less to more, from the beginning to the end, to understand what happens. Sergio Perez, he had his chance at Red Bull. It's over. Please remove him. Don't give him a competitive car. After numerous mistakes over the past weeks.
Well, there have been many criticisms.
Back again after his crash in FP1. The problem with Phoenix is consistency. It's not the engineer. No. Notice how it has too many ups and downs and may not be mentally stable enough. Yeah? Even to mentally destabilize him, he was told he wasn't mentally stable. I mean, serious issues against Sergio Perez. He's too far from Verstappen. And for me, his days at Red Bull are numbered. Logically, the team tries to make Perez believe his seat is not in danger, but I don't think he will continue driving for Red Bull next year.
See you next time.
Eat that packet you're munching on and you'll see why I insisted so much, because we really caught him in Sportmaniac. Of course, March, Verstappen and Checo Perez will be our drivers again next year. That's what Christian Horner was saying, and in the end, he delivers. What he says now is not the same. Notice how optimistic he was about Checo Perez in 2023. For 2024 and from 2024 to 2025, how has it changed? Christian Jorge that detail too. Point out Ralf Schumacher criticizes Checo and points out the ideal partner for Verstappen. Friends, today is August 29th. It's not the same. It's a different one. In the statements to Sky Sports, Sergio Pérez mentioned another mistake by crashing into the pit lane barrier, and this action also cost him a penalty. In the end, the has second place. I think his aunt is finding herself. Helmut Marko is not exactly known for his affectionate way of dealing with Pérez. I think Pérez as a guy can't handle it that well. This is how I explain these serious errors. Pérez looked moody, disappointed, and also absent throughout the weekend. I think there were already agreement about his separation at the end of the season. All lies. How can they spread rumors that are false? He's just tarnishing the Schumacher name. That's all he's doing because everything is a lie. There were already, notice, I believe, agreements about a separation at the end of the season, and Che is with Red Bull. All with a purpose that I'm going to dismantle, so you can see exactly what his goal was by telling these lies because there was a purpose. Liam Lawson celebrated his debut in Formula 1. It will be an option for AlphaTauri and Mark trusts him a lot. Notice that before he tried consuming Ricardo, Lawson showed up and excelled, and he also brought in Musambani. Some people see it a bit differently. His weekend was good. He made the most of it out of everyone who could take Checo's place. They spoke well, but of Checo pushing to the limit. Okay. And Helmut Marko did speak, but we're not talking about Helmut right now. Next. On August 31st, chronology of events, we talk about the last August 29, 2 days later. Is the matter really that serious that we need to analyze it more? That German frame who hates Sergio Perez the most within Red Bull. Christian Horner is expected to stand up for him but didn't. I knew Christian Horner wouldn't defend Chico, but Helmut Marko did speak up that I may put Checo down, but you better stay quiet a bit. Why are you so over the top? Everything I've shown you in order, even Mark, who you directly hate Checo, or not hate it supposedly, you know, but you get it, right? It said it looks like, and he puts an end to the criticism against Ralf Schumacher. Imagine that Fermo and Marco have to say this. Let's hope he didn't mean that my substitute would have to replace him. See? Bang. Take that right in the mouth, right in the snout, mind your own business. Demik Sumage. And it says, is there such a thing as a job guarantee in Formula 1? In any case, it's a contractual guarantee. And of course, as Helmut Marko discussed Perez's contract and reiterated that even though Formula 1 doesn't provide insurance, Checo's tie is until the end of 2024. Checo drives us very well sometimes, but he doesn't always manage to push the car to its limits without making mistakes. At Zandvoort, for example, he probably wouldn't have finished in the points if the race hadn't stopped. And you already know that Farnos Marcos' hidden intention is for Checo to be sabotaged as much as possible. But notice that for a frame that wanted to put pressure on Checo said, what's happening to you? This is really standing out, dude. Aren't they going to rein us in if we have to be like this all season? That's where it's heading. But Ralf Schumacher slowed down a bit until the 30th of October. He just couldn't take it anymore. He blew up a bit, held on for a bit, for a month, and then burst again. It's already against Czech. It's all his fault. Look at this photo. You will recognize it. It's from the Mexican Grand Prix, where Leclerc crashes into Checo and pushes him off the track when Checo made an aggressive move to get the first position because it was all or nothing. We were all in the boys' car, and look at that off. From the bank it gives it, you can see the hole it makes here. Look at what our says. Dearest Raro Simager. Look at what it says. He says, I don't know. That's not how it works. He enters and there's no room. Where should Leclerc go? And it's all his fault when in truth, Fierro Perez was aggressive, but so was Leclerc. Leclerc dogged the car. Couldn't keep up with the repull on that curve, and Verstappen pushed it to the limit. As it's aimed at fans who don't understand Formula 1, if it turns a bit more, it will surely be third, maybe even second. All you want to do is stay out.
Drive
Too
close
much
to the hotel.
as if they were not even there. If we look back at last year's Dutch Grand Prix, how Checo took out one of the Alpines, Verstappen pushed one of the Alpines practically off the track at the oval curve, and neither he nor anyone else cared. The sun doesn't. Are you going to tell me about the great Schumacher?
So good today.
That slow match continued, right? Because it had a goal that I'm going to explain to you now in mind. And all this has done some more, but I'm moving on to April 10th, which we're talking about 16 days before today. And notice he said Checo is worlds apart here, where he denounced it. We were saying the madness he had been talking about, where all the sports fanatic here were criticizing hard and strong because he definitely doesn't deserve this attack, Sergio Pérez, about a Bill Trigon, right? Because at no point has Checo done anything strange to him. Notice
As
that.
rightly pointed
And
out.
you have to look at his teammate Montoya, right? Because Montoya was a key piece of competition over Rare. And of course, all of this comes from denouncing that he has threats on Instagram because Johnny Gerber did that thing up. Report that there were violent threats on walls. Johnny Herbert exaggerated so much that he showed his hand when he said they were Spanish. How are you going to know someone's nationality? And now, it's time to show you something. I have to show you why Ragnar Schumacher is so, let's say, prone to criticize Sergio Pérez. Ralf Schumacher has a streak of exactly 6 wins. Okay? And here, you're going to understand absolutely everything. 6 wins for Ralf Schumacher in the Formula 1 season and totally bankrupt by Juan Pablo Montoya. Notice how he's already fully on board, adding more points, 834,706. But we can also see, as on podiums, he also wins, but not just that. But if we look at the point comparison by season, we can see in the set-to-head, as Ralf Schumacher is clearly outperformed by Juan Pablo Montoya in all seasons, a bit exaggerated when the Colombian driver had the car advantage. Notice it's so much so that we always find with Pablo Montoya ahead in the 2006 World Championship, 9th position over Ralf Schumacher's 10th. Here in 2005, 4th place for 6th of Ralf Schumacher. In 2004, 4th place to 11th for Ralf. 2003, 3rd place to 5th. 2002, position 3 by position 5. And 2001, the only one that surpassed it, position 6 by position 4. Yashita Tetaya, why are you telling me about Ralf Schumacher 6 victories? Well, friends, Checo's win in Formula 1. It has 6 and got it in Baku number 6. Therefore, we are talking about Ralf Schumacher being afraid of being overtaken by the Mexican to a German in Formula 1 victories. Juan Pablo Montoya, who finished his career with 7 victories, has already overtaken him. So, we're uncovering Ralf Schumacher's hidden motive.
It's very obvious. Victories in Formula 1.
6. Check victories in Formula 1 6. Tech Pérez podiums 35. Ralf Schumacher's podium finishes 27. He has already been overtly surpassed in podiums. But things could get more serious if Ralf Schumacher is surpassed by the Mexican Sergio Pérez in terms of victory. Then in the round of Baku, do 6 victory, move past the 5th. And when you ride the Baku, do 6 victory, move past the 5th. All these crazy things I've been explaining to you one by one chronologically until the point that Germund Marko has to step into the limelight to denounce Radcho's behavior. Friends, I think I've made it quite clear what the hidden motive of Ralf's is. Thanks for sharing this video so everyone can find out, because if this video is shared on social media at the corner bar with all the Expromaniacs, they've seen this, they've seen this, they've seen this tomorrow, the day after. When Ralf Schumacher comes out, because you now know he's going to reappear, as his goal is to prevent Checo from winning victory number 7 and surpassing him. It will keep going until Checo achieves that unmatched victory. So he feels psychological pressure, and what we need to achieve is for everyone to understand the truth through videos like this and say, okay, next time in 3 weeks when Ralf Schumacher speaks nonsense again, let people know it's because he doesn't want a Mexican achieve maximum victories in Formula 1. 1-1. Sorry, Ralf Schumacher, because last year you didn't want Checo to be with Red Bull in 2024. You knew it was very likely he would surpass your win streak.
If the story had gone well, he would have ended up with 6 victories last year, overtaken by a Mexican or a German like Ralf Schumacher, but
His story has something particularly odd. Sergio Pérez is going to surpass you, and as soon as he does, we're going to celebrate his 7th victory. Everyone, all sports fanatics, notice how some ask, who is Ralf? Notice how Ram Schumacher today also did all the historical numbers of checks are better than those of Ram. Then we must say, Victor, it's not. Everyone, there's one that hurts a lot and is about to come. You can smell it. It's more than in the air. It's palpable. Perez overtaking a Mexican, surpassing a German, Ralf Schumacher, by name Schumacher, in maximum Formula 1 victories. This is the hidden reason behind their similar image. Every day of the year thinking about how to psychologically attack Sergio Perez so that this man wins, so that Verstappen wins. Why? Because if it is sent, the car is set up for Verstappen and Verstappen wins, what will happen is that Checo Perez will not achieve his 6th victory. 7, the most important one, the one that leaves a German behind at the end of the line. Slipstream and bring your quiet bird to show a point on its mouth so it can never speak again. Ralf, make the most of what you have left because soon you will never be able to speak ill of Sergio again.